Hey, yo, what's good, y'all, man? Welcome back to Coded Black. You already know I'm Commotion. Today, we have another special guest in the building. We got Tammy Jones. How you doing, Queen?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. That's what's up. Appreciate you coming on the show.
Appreciate you for having me.
Yep. So how's your mentals? How you feeling right now in life?
I'm feeling amazing.
That's what's up. Well, let's jump right into it. Your book, The House That Hurt Me. Mm-hmm. I want to ask you a variety of questions about this. I think it's dope. I think when you first really see the name of that book, or when I first saw the name of that book, The House That Hurt Me, for me, the title puts me in the frame of, it could be like a documentary type book. It could be an autobiography. It could be fictional. So I think it really grabs the audience, but it grabbed me from a couple different angles, especially looking at the picture right here, I don't know if you all can see it, but it's like, well, I'll let you describe it. Like what's on that, the front of this book right here?
It's actually a house and a little girl sitting in front of the house. And this is, I want to say it was supposed to be me, but I couldn't get no real picture of me or put it on there. But it's just the house the things that I went through. And I couldn't put the real house on there because they tore the house down. I wanted to put the original house on there, but they tore the house down, so I couldn't put it on there. So that's how I set the book up.
Okay, nice. And man, this is awesome because I've known you for some time. You know what I'm saying? This is cool. Let's get right into it. What inspired this book, and is it solely based on a true story, or is it a true story?
It's everything in there is a true story.
Okay.
And it's based on things that I went through as a child. So that's what made me come up with that name. It's not say that the house itself hurt me, but the people that was in the house that hurt me. So that's how I came up with that name, The House That Hurt Me. And I always said, as when I was young, I could write a book about my life. I always said that. And I started it like in 2011. I started, but I didn't finish. I had a journal and I'm just writing in it. But, life get life, and you got kids, you know what I mean? And you got to work. So it never happened. In 2023, I got hurt. So I've been out of work for 2 years? And when God say sit, you got to sit. And I sat, and he just came to me like, it's time. It's time to write this book. And I just started writing. I was up for 32 hours, 24 hours. There's some times I didn't even know what day it was. That's how focused I was on it. And believe it or not, this is maybe the only thing that I ever really sat down and finished. Because I was one of those people, I start something. I had a hair company, started it. I didn't even finish it. Everything I started don't finish, but this right here, it was a must. I had to finish it and get this book out because I want people to, read the book and understand that there's people going through stuff right now. Little kids, little boys, grown men, grown women who never said nothing.
That's true. That's very much true. And shout out to you for your courage, your bravery, and really in confidence as well. Because I've read up to like the middle part of the book, and I ain't gonna lie, it was a rough read. Meaning it was very comprehensible or comprehensive and understandable, and the emotions grabbed me as not just because I know you, but just because that definitely plays a part into it.
Right.
But just because as a reader, yo, whoa. But I wanted to keep coming back to it as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm excited to read the rest of it. 2011, you started right. And then when we speed up to 2023, so that gap, you didn't do anything with it in between?
I didn't do nothing. It took me to get hurt on the job to sit me down to focus on doing the book. Because in my journal, I probably had maybe a half a page. And it really set me down to put like everything, my thoughts into this book. And There's things the stuff that you go through and how it just messes with your mental state. It was a lot. Yeah. But like I said, I went through therapy and everything, and that's the only thing that helped me to be able to sit down and write this book. And I get a lot of people ask me, well, how did you feel writing it?
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool. It ain't cool, but I was able to sit down without tearing up, without crying, without anything, because it took me to go through therapy for 2 years for me to write this book. Or else, if I would have never went to therapy, I probably wouldn't be sitting here talking to you or had this book out.
And I think that that's powerful as well, because that's what I was going to ask you there. Like, what was your emotion? Like, but it seems like you were pretty emotionally stable when writing.
Oh, yes. Yes.
That's what's up. And yes. I think that's beautiful as well, because I think a lot of times, like, when you hear stories out in Hollywood or maybe like some bigger networks or whatever, it always sounds like this magical thing and this big epiphany that people have. And I'm not saying that that's not true for some. And I'm not saying that you didn't go through that. But right. I like the fact that you said you started in 2011 and you got back to it in 2023. That's beautiful, because you allowed yourself to have that time and that space, to really curate something that was creative, true to you, a definition of what you've been through, and just it's a definition of courage as well. So that's what's up. But I want to get into some of these chapters.
It's 24 of them.
24 chapters. Let's start with chapter 1. So it says, before it all fell apart, and I've made some highlights for some things that stuck out to me that you've mentioned. You say, well, can you read that first highlighted one?
Boy, I got contacts and I can't see that small.
I got you. So this part that I highlighted right here, it says, this doesn't end with neat closure. It ends with the mirror. The one I used to avoid because I didn't recognize the girl staring back. Now I do. She isn't broken. She isn't weak. She's unfinished, and she's finally speaking. That right there really resonated with me, because we all have been children. Can you tell me what made you say that part right there? Like, what influenced you to say that? Like, you kind of spoke from third person.
Yeah.
What inspired you to say that right there? Because that shows strength in itself.
Because it was always like, I didn't like looking in the mirror. Because every time I would look, I keep thinking of what I went through, what I was going through. So, and I also wanted to put a message out there to where it's like, you don't have to be afraid no more. You could keep moving. What happened to you as a child, it don't determine what you become. But I know a lot of people, I can't speak for everybody else, but a lot of people, it lets them eat them up. Let them eat it up, and they think they're the problem. And that's how I was. I was like, why is this happening to me? Like, really? What did I do as a child to make someone do the things that they did to me? I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it at all. But as I got older and I knew, nah, this ain't my fault. Something was wrong with them. It wasn't me.
I think the fact that you can go back and recollect and just really reinvent those emotions, I think that that's a testament to your healing as well. Because I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't know a lot of people that would be able to do that. I'm not gauging anybody's strength or nothing like that, but that's a lot, you know what I'm saying? So again, shout out to you for that,
Thanks.
And I think, what helped you continue like writing this book? Like, did you have any stopping points from like 2023?
No, it wasn't actually. No, 2023 is when I got hurt.
I'm sorry, 2023 when you got hurt.
Yeah, that's when I got hurt. So it's like I didn't have nothing but time.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I had nothing but time. So I didn't start writing the book until this year, 2025.
Wow.
So that's how long God will sit you down. And I'm strolling on TikTok, doing all the other stuff, not even thinking about writing, and something came up on TikTok that said something about you can write your own book. And when I was sitting right there, I promise you, I felt the presence of God, and it was like, now. From that point, I got up, and it was about 9 o'clock that night. I got up, and I did everything on my iPhone. I started trying to write everything on my iPhone. And from that day, that's when it started. That's when it started.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Let's take a look at another highlight in here. Because this is it's such a heavy, like I plan on us talk about a lot of stuff. Like, it's such a heavy really a heavy topic. You know, when you talk about child abuse, molestation, things of that whole spectrum is like you said, a lot of people have went through it. Like, I know people personally that have went through that. You know what I'm saying? Some multiple times, you know, men and women. So it's heavy.
Yes.
Know? So you said, okay, if you want to know who I am, start here with this house, with this pain, with this voice that refused to stay quiet. I didn't write this for closure. I wrote it for clarity. For the girl who once begged the darkness to be kind. She waited long enough. Now it's my turn.
I feel like my abusers and the people who hurt me, I think they didn't think that I was going to be quiet all my life. I wasn't going to, speak on it. And there was times that I wouldn't. I'm like, but it just killed me over and over and over. Like, depression is real. It is real. I mean, it eats you up. You could just be walking and it'll just hit you. You could just be eating, it'll hit you. Until you go get help for it. I mean, I can't speak for everybody else, but like I said, going to therapy helped me. A lot of people, and I was one of those people, they just want to know your business. They ain't going to say nothing to you. They just want to, but I sat down and I went through my doctor, and my doctor was the one who put me with a therapist, and she actually came to my house. She actually would come to my house like twice a week. I think it was like twice a week.
That's very personable. I like that. Because when it comes to therapy, me personally, like, not taking away the conversation, but me personally, like, I like to be in the presence of someone. Virtual is cool. So was that you all's first session when she first came to your house? Like, did y'all do virtual prior to it?
No.
Like that? That's what's up. That's what's up. So when you started to get therapy about it, was there an instant connection? Was it a build up? How was it? Like, what was that process like?
The first time I went and got help, I felt like the lady was judging me because I'm explaining to her, and all she could do was look at me, and I'm like, she wouldn't say nothing. So I'm like, okay, is she judging me? Because I felt like she was judging me. So at that point, I just got up and was like, I feel like you're judging me, and I walked out. She didn't say nothing. She didn't try to tell me to come back. She didn't open her mouth. So that was years later is when I had to go see a therapist again because it was just killing me. So I said I have to speak about. That's when I said something to my doctor, and I was explaining to her what had happened, and she was like, "I'm going to put you with a therapist."
Okay. I got two questions from that. So I found that ironic. Like, she didn't even, but I guess that's divine alignment, and that's that God timing. But that's ironic to hear that a therapist didn't say anything when this is your position. This is your job, even though you're human.
And I don't want to.
She didn't even try to stop you.
Play the race card.
Yeah.
But she was black.
She was black too, huh?
Therapist that sat with me for 2 years was a white lady.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, God can speak to anybody.
That part right there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, man, that's and that's another conversation we may or may not get to when it comes to our black women supporting each other wholeheartedly. Not just when it's trauma bonding. But when it's actually nurturing. I think black women definitely need that. And you being a black woman, would you attest to that?
Oh, yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Second question. So you said, okay, you went to the second therapist. Now what was it? What was the amount of time between that first therapist and that second one?
Oh, years.
Okay, it was like 5, 6 years.
Yeah, it was some years.
Okay. So I know you said it was killing you. Was it killing you mentally, physically? Did you feel like it was like a whole type thing?
All of it.
Mm.
It's just like you would think you're happy, and boy, it just tear you down. You go back through all those thoughts that happened to you. Everything keep playing in your mind that you went through as a child. Mm-hmm. It just keep going. It don't stop.
Because see, the reason I wanted to ask you that is because I think in our community, a lot of times, I feel like we gloss over stuff. Those that may not be familiar with your experience. Mm-hmm. I'm glad that you said, the process, because I don't think we look at that a lot. Mm-hmm. We just say, oh, you just need to go get help, or, well, I'm gonna leave that to the professionals, when it's like, sometimes that person needs that family support as well. Mm-hmm. And then when they don't get it, you got to make adjustments. But, that doesn't make it normal for it to be that way. You just have to. So shout out to you for, pivoting from that first therapist.
Thanks.
Because some people would be like, man, what the hell with it?
Yeah. Because I thought about that. Yeah. I was like, can't nobody fix me? Like, she's looking at me, and I don't know if it was too much for her to handle, but that's your job. But she just looked at, like you looking at me right now, that's how she was looking at me. And she didn't open her mouth. She didn't say not one word, I'm sorry, or she just let me walk on out. And I knew right then and there, she wasn't the one that I was supposed to talk to. She
set you up for your next blessing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good that's good she set you up for your next blessing. Yeah. I know we talked about how it was a very daunting experience, mm-hmm. Between the first therapist and the second one. Can you give some examples for some people that may not know exactly what you're talking about, like when it comes to what were you going through? What were some examples of how it ate at you?
Driving down the street, you just on the highway, just listening to music. Mm-hmm. Bam! The sexual assault. Mm-hmm. It just keep going, and you keep trying to shake it and don't go nowhere. You just gotta just keep praying, like, oh, please God, just let this go over. And like I said, it just keep coming. You can have a day, it might not come for a month. Mm-hmm. Might not be for 2 months. And then you think you're on top of the world because you ain't thinking about it. It's not hitting you. And then it just break you down again. Mm-hmm. And you back to square one.
Do you feel like it's something that triggered it, that might trigger it? Maybe it might be a song or, okay.
No, it don't even have to be no triggers. It's just, I don't know if it's, my mind was just so, heavy. Mm-hmm. And it's just, man, here you go. You like, oh man, are you serious? And then it'll start playing on your mental state to where you start thinking you're crazy. Mm-hmm. You start thinking, like I said, I can't explain for everybody else, but for me, it start thinking like, did this really happen? Did this really happen to me? Like, it just keep taking you back to that child.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. How was it, like, throughout the years, how was it for you, like, dating and stuff when it comes to that? Like, did you date when it?
Yeah, it plays a big part on it. Okay. It plays a big part because you think you're with somebody and you can't tell everybody because you don't want to be judged. Mm-hmm. You think people judging you. And I think I opened up a couple of times, and as soon as when you try to get intimate with that person, just like, move, get off me. Like you don't want to be touching them because here it comes, and it comes right back. And you like, and then now this person thinking, oh, well, you cheating on me, or you talking to somebody else, and that's not even the case.
They're not understanding the trauma behind what you, yeah. So you said when you try to open up, mm-hmm. that, yeah, I could definitely see how, that, yeah. I understand that. Now, let me ask you this. Was it the way, now when you say, you might not didn't want to be intimate in any given moment, was that as a result of them not holding that space for you?
No, I don't think it was that. It's just more like.
Or was it just a playing back?
Yeah, the trauma just plays back to you. You think that this person could just be the nicest person, and, and you like, oh, okay. But it just, maybe he touched you the wrong way. Mm-hmm. In your mind, it's the wrong way. Mm-hmm. But, we're adults now, but it just go back and you just like, okay, yeah, I remember that touch. I remember that feeling. And I don't like it. So then I'm acting towards that person. So now they like, hold on, wait a minute. What's going on?
Yeah.
So it plays a big part in relationships. It really does.
And, you know, I think we see that a lot in our community, because me and you talk about this offline. You know, so some people are so, like, insensitive, especially, I feel like, to what people go through, but specifically, being that we got you on the show, like, Black woman, like, I think when somebody has trauma and things in their past that may be triggering, I think that, and I've done this in the past as well. And even in like recent, like I had to catch myself, like, well, hold on, man. You know, you don't know what this woman is going through, what this person is going through. So I think that's important that you're on the show, really even talking about this,
right?
You know? But I want to dive into some more of the book. You know, the part that you're willing to share, of course.
Whatever part.
This part right here, it just popped up. It says, this is chapter 8. This is the heavy one for me. This is when it got real heavy.
That's when it got heavy.
Yeah. I'm demanding accountability. I'm demanding what we stop pretending this doesn't happen. That we stop protecting predators and start protecting children. So if you're reading this and it makes your chest heavy, good. That means you're awake. That means you're part of the revelation. And that means that you don't get to look away anymore. When I read that part, I was like, yo, that sounds like a monologue out of a movie.
It's funny that you said that, because I'm going to make this book into a movie.
Really?
Yes.
I think that'd be a great one. How does it feel when you take that power back, right? Because I feel like you took your power back when you wrote that part, or, you know, just from reading it. How does that feel? Like, do you feel like you're talking to your younger self? Do you feel like, what's that feeling?
Well, when I wrote that part, I was talking to parents, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, whoever sat and watched a child get molested, get beat, and they never said nothing. Or the person who was doing it, the person who's actually molesting or beating on a child or, you know, a woman, and you just look away and, oh, I ain't gonna say nothing. So that's what made me write that part. Because we see way too many people. And, you know, in the black household coming up, you but not dare tell your mother's business. What goes in this house stays in this house. That's what we were taught.
And see, and that's why when I talk to previous generations, I always tell them to tread lightly when they say, well, this is how we did stuff back in the day. I said, because everything that y'all did wasn't necessarily, or a lot of things that y'all may have done from a traumatic standpoint wasn't necessarily healthy, and it wasn't the right thing to do. And we can't continue to use the excuse of, oh, that's how I was taught. I'm not talking about you.
Right.
But I'm just saying, like, if you would have talked to people in your family about that.
Yeah, but it was like, be quiet until today, 2025, believe it or not, there are still parents or women are telling their children not to say nothing because he's the breadwinner. She ain't working. So he's bringing in all the money, he's paying the bills, but you rather let this man rape your daughter and you ain't gonna say nothing because you don't want to get up and go to work and you don't want to protect that child. You want wigs, bags, all the other stuff, but you don't want to protect your own child. And we have to stop. We have to stop telling children and walking away from when they don't want to tell you nothing. And this is why kids be so like, oh my God, if I say something, this is going to happen, because what's the first thing you say? Oh, he ain't do that, I don't believe you. They don't believe the children, they don't believe the kids.
Almost seems like they don't want to believe it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I know I have an inkling in my mind. Because people always say they got an inkling, intuition, But when it's something that they don't want to hear, they don't listen to it at that point.
And trust me, the mother knows. Trust me, you know when your child is moving differently. You know. But see, in my situation, my mom she was in the streets. She was a drunk. She was drinking, smoking crack. But at the time when I was young, she just was out partying and left us in the house. I was the youngest at the time. So it was me telling her, she wouldn't have believed anything I would have said any other way.
You said that you also mentioned that in the book. This was in the earlier chapters when, you were saying you were alone. It was
Chapter 2.
Chapter 2. I was so small, but I remember everything. The ache in my belly, the weakness in my legs, the way the house pressed down on me like it had a weight of its own. It wasn't just that we were alone. It was knowing no one was coming. And I brought this part up because you mentioned, your mom was never really there. And do you feel like she turned a blind eye, or do you feel like she was too inebriated to even care, or do you think it's both? Like,
she was a person who shouldn't have had kids. Because you ran the streets, you didn't care about your kids, and there's 6 of us by 6 different men. So she didn't care. She chose the streets. She chose the streets over her kids.
What type of impact do you think your book is going to have and that it's having?
I think it's going to have a great impact because, like I said, there's someone, as we speak, something is happening to them. And a lot of people is afraid, or should I say a lot of kids is afraid to speak because they don't believe nobody's going to believe them. They think somebody, oh, you're lying. And to keep getting told that didn't happen, you just start believing yourself like don't nobody care. And then you start getting kids hurting themselves.
I want to go back to your childhood again. Do you think, did you ever think about running away? Did you ever think about going to the police? Did you ever think about telling anybody at school, any of your friends?
No.
Well, why not, would you say, if you can remember?
It was more like you was embarrassed. It was more of an embarrassed. Don't ask me why that embarrassed you so much that you was getting treated like this. But believe it or not, school was my scapegoat. I love going to school. But I wouldn't tell nobody because, you as a kid, you with your friends, you playing, your little games and everything. And then it hit you, I have to go back to this. Like, dang, I have to go back. So no, I didn't. And I think most people, when things happen, they don't say nothing.
That's true. Do you think, like, we'll talk about that later on. Let's move forward in the book as well. Chapter 3, when love was a fist, no one called it abuse. The bruises didn't start as bruises. They started as warnings. Sharp looks, slammed doors, silence that screamed louder than words. At first, I didn't know it was abuse. I thought maybe that's just how love looked in our house. Fast and loud and angry. But it wasn't love. It was survival. Mandy didn't use her hands right away. First, it was her voice. Who's Mandy in this book?
That would be my mother.
That'd be your mom? Okay. So we already talked about she basically, you were non-existent in her life.
Yeah, I mean, she would cuss us out, kids.
Just for no reason?
I mean, you couldn't do anything. Like, change the furniture around, you get beat for that. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Cleaning up. I don't ask me why you get beat for cleaning up, but yeah, I didn't understand what she meant when she would tell us, I should have swallowed you. I didn't know that until I was old enough to know what she was talking about. But that's the type of stuff that she would say to us. So that's still abuse. Yeah, she used to say stuff like that to her kids. Beat you. I mean, it was bad. I had one of my cousins say, I used to be glad that your mother wasn't my mother.
Oh, that's heavy.
But she treated everybody else with the utmost respect.
Really?
Yes. Strangers off the street, give them money, cook, everything. When it came to us.
And so somebody from an outside looking in would never have thought. It's wild that you say that, because when I talk to people sometimes, I'm like, man, some of the most seemingly sweet woman.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I don't want no sisters coming at me in the comments, and hey, but I just got to call a spade a spade, for my analyzation, talking about this topic. Some of the most seemingly sweet women, I'll be talking to them, and they be like, well, I don't know why my kid is not talking to me, or I don't know why my niece did this, I don't know why this person did this. And when I was younger, it's like, oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy, sister so-and-so or miss so-and-so. But now as I've gotten older and I've talked to more people, now it's like, she could be right about this. I'm not gonna judge her on this, but I do know there's three sides to the story.
Three sides to the story.
This person, and the cold truth. And so it's wild that you mentioned that, because I do think that that's a thing in our community. We go off of how things look so much, not so much off of how we feel, the intuition. It's always, how it looks. Yeah. I didn't know that this person was like this. Well, the signs were there. You just didn't want to see them because of your perspective. So that's wild that you said that.
Yeah, that's just how she was. It was like, she never went to no school meetings.
Really?
She didn't even teach us how to read or write.
Wow.
But the power of God is, like I said, I am the one that no one likes, if that makes sense. Out of my brothers and sisters, they do not like me. Never did.
Why would you say they didn't like you? Like, why not? What do you think it was?
If I have to be truthful, I would say I have this. This is probably another topic, but I have this spiritual connection thing, and when when somebody's doing you wrong and you spiritual, they can't stand to be around you. You got so much energy towards you, and you got chosen one, they can't be around you because of my presence. Like my sister, she never liked me.
How does that make you feel, like knowing that you had that gift, especially like with you, like now, you've embraced that gift. Just me, you talking offline, like. But throughout the years, how did that make you feel? Like,
I didn't understand it at first. I didn't know what was going on with me. And I'm like, I didn't beat myself down and be like, oh, I'm crazy or nothing like this. I just didn't understand what I have. But today I understand it and I know what it is. But back then I couldn't tell you what it was. I was just like, why are they doing me like this? Yeah. What's wrong with me? Why do I have to, go through this? But now, today, I very much understand what's going on. And I wouldn't change my life for the world.
That's what's up. Okay. Got you. The fact that you say you wouldn't even change your life for the world, that's strength and spiritual ascension in itself. So let's get ready to dive into. And I'm shaking my head, y'all, because I just, let's dive into chapter 8. So, chapter 8 is when
the touching began.
Chapter 8 is when the touching began. Do you feel comfortable touching on some of the highlighted parts that I have? This is the journalist in me, y'all. My journey, my major was journalism when I was in school. So I just really dived into the book. Even though I didn't finish it yet, I have dived into it and I've highlighted some things, as you all have heard me read. So you said I was about 7 or 8 years old when my brother Vincent started to touch me in ways no brother ever should. It didn't happen all at once. It started with small things: a hand brushing too close, a touch that lasted too long. The first time his hand slid across me and I froze. I didn't know what to think. I told myself maybe it was a mistake. But it kept happening. Longer touches, wandering hands, his breath hot on my ear, whispering, "Don't say a word." The fact that you really detailed this and other things, especially in this chapter, that takes a whole nother type of strength, by my estimate. When that happened, I think, you know what? When that happened, throughout the years, have you ever had a conversation with your brother about that? Like confronting him about that?
No, because he was always in jail. He was one of those who was always going to jail.
And nobody ever knew about.
I just felt like they did know, but didn't say nothing. I know my sister knew. And I asked myself, I wonder if he was doing it to her. He had to, because she was older than me. I was the child. At that time I was a baby. Mm-hmm. But there's no way that nobody didn't know what was going on. Mm. No way.
Yeah, that got to stop in our community. That has to stop. Let's go further. So diving into that chapter again. The last time it happened, I remember thinking, this is it. This is who I am now. A thing, not a person. Mm-hmm. Just a thing people use when they feel like it. I didn't cry anymore. I didn't flinch. I just let it happen. So this happened so often, basically, that you just grew numb to it.
Just be numb to it. And see, this goes back to when I tell you that things just pop up in your head when you're trying to be normal. It was things like this. Just keep coming up and you think you're normal. Mm. Mm-hmm.
Does this particular things that went on in this chapter, do those things still pop up in your mind?
No.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
And I think I went to therapy maybe like 2014. Yeah, 2014. The beginning of 14. Yeah. So the help that I got, it relieved me. So I don't have those, thoughts no more. It's like I overcame it all once. I went through that therapy and somebody listened to me, and I'm just spilling. Everything that's in this book is what I was telling the therapist.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes.
So that was the first time in your life that somebody actually listened to you about what happened. Mm-hmm. Do you think if somebody would listen to you when you were younger, even if they, let me ask you this, even if somebody didn't do anything about it, do you think that your mentals and your emotions would have been better if you were younger, if they would have just listened?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. I got you. So, I like this part right here that you said. You said, first, let's touch on this. You said, you can't unlive something like that. You can't pretend it didn't happen. Mm-hmm. It shapes the way you breathe, the way you love, the way you see yourself in the mirror. But now I'm naming it. I'm writing it, and that's how I start to take it back. Because that little girl deserved better. She deserved to be believed, to be protected, to be held and told, you didn't deserve this. Mm-hmm. I like that part. And then you also said this part right here. I don't care who this makes uncomfortable. I care that I lived it. I care that I survived what should have killed me. Mm-hmm. And I care that the next little girl might read this and see herself and know she isn't alone. Mm-hmm. That somebody else made it out, even if she's still bleeding. Like you said, there's so many, just talking about young black women right now, there's so many young black women that have went through this. Mm-hmm. And the fact that you put that statement in there, I think that was very powerful.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself maybe being an advocate. You're already an advocate. You see yourself being like a maybe a professional advocate, or is that a part of your purpose in getting your story out as well?
That's part of the purpose, because I would love to sit down to talk to young women and men and young boys, because nobody understands that boys get touched too, and they go through a thing but they look at it as me or you. Not gonna say me or you, but other people would look at them like, oh, a woman touch you, man, that ain't nothing. That was a girl,
right?
But that's still a child, and he wasn't supposed to be touched. He didn't ask to be touched. You got a 7-year-old and a 15-year-old doing things to him. Come on now, come on.
When you went through that, how old were you? Okay, you were 7 or 8. How old was Vincent, your brother, when that happened?
So if I was 7 or 8, he had to be about 15.
Yeah.
About 14, 15 or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. And yeah, the fact that you, like you said, like, it was a quote that Nipsey Hussle said. He said, "This world turned a nigga violent, but I came in peace." And then he also said something like, he was like, "This world, you come into this world pure, and then you get influenced."
Yeah.
Whether it be influenced through trauma and things like that, I agree with that, because I think a lot of people just need a hug. Yeah. I say that all the time. Like me and you be talking offline. Like, people just be so numb to things, and they think they can just keep sweeping stuff under the rug.
And it don't work.
It don't work.
It don't work. It's going to eat you up every chance you get. And you think about it. I mean, I can't speak for everybody else, but mental health. You have to sit and think, what did this person go through? You sit and saying, you didn't just wake up today and just say, oh, you know what? I just want to do this. I don't want to. What caused this person to want to do the things that they're doing? What happened to this person as a child? Because everything stems from when you were a child.
Yep.
It comes from when you were a child. We just don't just be born and be like, oh, okay, I just want. No, something happens to you. And whether it turns you crazy, psycho, or whatever, something happened. Not everybody, but something happened to people. But once again, what we do, we just look over, and then some people just want to just do things. And like we touched on this earlier, you never know what nobody's going through. And I guarantee you, all the people that I grew up with and went around, they would never in their wildest dreams thought that what I was going through. Like my one friend, she would never thought like, and she still don't know to this day.
So until she
read
book on her hands.
Yeah.
Wow.
You would never know. Like you was going through that.
She's your best friend, huh?
Yeah. Wow. Would have never known. Because I kept a straight face. I was silly and, cracking jokes, but you would have never known. You would never know.
The resiliency that you maintain, like that in itself is quite amazing. Because like you said, you have went through so much. And the fact that you was able to compartmentalize that, man, that's a divine purpose. When I say divine purpose, not what you went through is a divine purpose, but it was a divine purpose for you to be, for you to have that strength.
Right.
It's obviously shameful what you've been through. You know what I mean? That goes without even saying. You know what I mean? But like, man, that's like even us just sitting here talking about this. That's beautiful.
No, and it didn't stop.
What you mean it didn't stop?
Oh, it was a lot more people.
You know what? Them the chapters that I didn't get to yet. Living in a body that wasn't safe. What is that title? What does that title mean?
I was living in the body that wasn't safe because I just said there was other people, doing things to me. So I wasn't safe because you didn't know who was next. Who's going to do something to you next? Who
was the other person that?
My other brother.
The other brother did something to you.
And then it was my mother's friend's daughters, both of them. And then it was my stepfather. So that's where I came up with that chapter.
And what time span was this? Like, okay, so the first time it happened was 7 to 8 years old. What, during that time span, When was the last time? What was the time span between the first time and the last time?
When I was about 14 is when it stopped.
So you dealt with that for 7 more years after the first
time. And then my brother, the next to the oldest, he came along maybe, I'm talking about months. But my oldest brother, Ben, was doing it. And then I think I don't know what happened. I can't remember if he went to juvenile or something. And then it was my other brother was in the house with us. And then he started doing it. And he only did it once. Not that doesn't make it no better, but he started doing it. And then it was like, are you fucking kidding me? And I had to be about, so I was 7 to 8. I had to be about 9. It was about 9.
Wow. And then the last time when you were 14, that was your stepdad.
Yeah. That's when he tried, when I was asleep. And I felt his hand in my pants. And I'm like, oh no, not this time. Oh no. At this point, can I cuss on this show?
Yeah.
At this point, I'm ready to fuck everybody up. I didn't give a damn. So this is when I finally said something. I ran downstairs. I'll never forget. It was Christmas Eve. I ran down them steps and I told my mother what he did. That lady told that man to apologize to me. What? So it goes back to what we said. These mothers be knowing what their husbands and boyfriends are doing. She didn't work. He was the breadwinner. He paid all the bills. So he just said, oh, sorry. From that point, I was like, you know what? I'm going to fight anybody this time. I didn't care if I was going to kill him. I didn't care. But it got to that point where I was like, this is it. You got to be fucking kidding me. But before then, it was my mother's daughters who was doing it. She had a friend.
Your mother's friend's daughters?
Yeah.
The girls who heard me too. So let's talk about that as well, because it was not only men or males that did this, it was females as well. Now, how did that feel when you, and everybody, I'm asking her these questions because y'all know that there's a lot of people out here that may be going through these different things. So, for Tammy to come on the show and just talk about these things, a lot of people can't do that, y'all. So that's why I'm asking these intricate questions. I'm not being disingenuous or numb to what she's saying.
And it don't bother me.
Oh.
Like I said, I already went through it. You know what I mean? I wrote the book. I got help for it. So I can talk. Before I couldn't talk to nobody. I couldn't sit down and explain nothing other than a therapist. But I'm comfortable now. So you can ask whatever question you want. It's not going to hurt me. It ain't going to make me go back to that place that I was at. No.
Well, was it a different dynamic knowing that females did this to you after the males' experience?
Yeah, because I was like, what? Girls do this too? See, in my mind, I'm thinking only men touch you. But I couldn't believe it was girls too. And the one girl I went to school with, went to school with her. But her sister was like older. She was my sister's age.
Wow. Did that? Now I know from reading the chapter, I know they used to mess with you and play with you a lot, like kind of like.
Yeah, because my mother and their mother was drunk buddies. They would drink, and they used to live around the corner. And we used to go over. She used to get me to go over to her house, or come out. You were going with me, and we would go over to their house. And she had a big old house, one of those big old houses. They were downstairs, and of course, y'all kids go upstairs. You know how the grown folks always send the kids upstairs, and that's how it was.
Not monitoring.
Nope.
Nothing.
You just go in there because you ain't in their space. You ain't, what they say, stay out of grown folks' business when you have drinking and all that. Kids wasn't allowed, so it's go upstairs, and that's what it was.
So them two girls, they took advantage of it. Now, can you take us back? What did they do? What happened?
it would be like they was playing first. And you just sitting there, but something in me knew something was going to happen because once again, what I tell you, I can feel stuff. And I was just sitting there one day and I'm like, something about to happen. But I didn't know what was going to happen. I just felt like what's going to happen. So the one girl, she was like, oh, come over here, let's play, whatever. And next thing you know, the one pushed me. And now I'm on the bed. Take my clothes off. And that's how it started. One was holding me down, while the other one was grinding on me. Yeah.
And during this time, did you scream? Did you want to scream? Did you?
I mean, at this point, I'm broken.
Yeah.
Scream for what? Yeah. I'm just keep happening, and it's like, what am I'm screaming for? And I don't want people to get it confused when they say, I know everybody always say, I would have said something. Until you get into that situation, you ain't gonna be able to say nothing. We always say what we could have did or what we would have did. Oh, they wouldn't have did this. I would have said that. When you're in that situation, it's a whole different ballgame. People don't want to hear the truth. And I don't know if my aunts and them knew or anything like that. I mean, I can't say, oh, they knew because they didn't live in the house with me. And when my mom would throw parties, they didn't see none of that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I can't say that, oh, you seen it and you didn't do nothing about it or whatever. But I definitely know she knew. I definitely know my sister knew. You couldn't tell me you didn't know.
Yeah.
You didn't. And you did.
Have you talked to any of your family members about that ever in life?
I told my cousin. That's why she won't read my book.
Ah.
She bought it, but she said, and my other cousins, they said, I can't read in things that you went through because we're like this. And she was like, that's gonna make me cry. I can't read it.
Yeah, yeah.
All of them is, passed on, except my brother and my sister, and they're dealing with cancer right now.
How do you feel about them passing in your lifetime and dealing with this situation and everything?
You want the truth or you want me to lie?
I want the truth. Code of Black's about the truth.
I don't give a fuck about them people. And I know people probably say, oh, that's fucked up. No, because you didn't live what I went through. So I didn't give a damn about them. And still don't give a damn about them to this day. I have no words for them. What could you say to me?
Right.
What could you possibly say? Now, what I will say is I don't wish death on nobody. Yeah. I don't wish nobody dead. But it seems like every time somebody do something to me, I don't have to wish nothing happened to you. I just sit back and then I'll hear it later.
Yeah.
Like, okay, but I don't have no feelings towards them.
But that's real, though.
I don't talk to them.
Yeah.
I mean, what you want me to say? Let's have a party. For what?
Right.
I might mess around and be in jail for real.
Yeah. Hey.
And they wonder why people snap. It's a lot to deal with. And I know you didn't hit on that chapter, but if you read chapter 12.
When I tried to leave this world, some pain does not cry out. It sits inside me, building slow, thick, quiet, until all you want is for it to stop. By the time I hit my breaking point, after years spent dodging hands and swallowing lies, I was finished. Nothing left but the weight everyone else handed me. I was done being a disaster, done waking up in a body that was not mine, done holding secrets that clawed at me night and day. So obviously with the title, can you take us through that?
Oh, I ended my life.
So what happened? What was the result? Because you're here today, so
okay. So I was just tired, and I said to myself, if I have to be in this world and live in it, I don't want to be here. I just didn't want to be here no more. So my stepfather, my mother's husband, he had some sleeping pills in his drawer, and I was like, you know what? I can't do it no more. So I went in there, took a handful of pills, threw them in my mouth, and went on my sister's bed and fell asleep. The only way they found me is because my mother, or that lady, she told my sister to wake me up to clean the kitchen. And they couldn't wake me up. Gone. Heart. None. The paramedics came and they did not put me in the ambulance until they was beating on my chest to get a pulse back. And it was just peaceful. I know that sounds probably crazy, but I was so at peace. It was just like I was just in a space where nobody can hurt me no more. And then I woke up in the hospital the next day, I think, with a tube down my throat.
Around this time, what was this? Do you remember around what age you were when this happened?
By then, this is what after everything happened. So I was about 14 because everything, it was it. But remember when I keep saying, all of that keeps coming back up. So just imagine as a child,
right? You
just going through stuff year after year after year. And nobody's helping you, your mom don't care, and it just eats you up. So basically, we was just clean the house. By then, it was clean my house. You can't go out. You can't do we weren't allowed to do nothing. Oh, Christmas? Please. Trick-or-treating? No, we had to sit in a room with her with the lights out, watching TV. No, we didn't get to go to
so everybody else was
trick-or-treating. No, I didn't get to go to prom. I didn't get to go to none of that. No.
Wow.
So I was done. And the crazy part is she never even asked, why did I do it?
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, what was her response?
Nope. She opened her mouth, didn't say nothing. She signed the release papers, went home, and their life just still going on. She's smoking crack, and, my brothers and them smoking crack with her. It was just, I just want people to read the book. If you read the book, you're going to be like, how did this child live through this?
Right.
Are you fucking kidding me? She had, my mother had her husband, right? Mm-hmm. Then she had her boyfriend in the house. So what she would do is she made my stepfather sleep in another room. Why? She brought in her men. And I will never forget that man's name. She brought him in, which is my little sister's dad. And one day, I'm being nosy. I'm looking in the room like, what's going on in here? He's sitting up in the middle of the bed, had my mom on this end and had this other lady on this one. He was pimping her.
He was pimping your mom?
And the girl. While my stepfather was in his room paying all the bills. Then she broke up with him, and then there was another one.
Oh, we gotta back up.
Yes.
Your stepfather and your mom were still together?
Yeah, they never divorced. And he was always living in the house.
While she was doing her thing with other men, and she made him, and he never...
No.
And going off that chapter in the book, we talked, I read that chapter when you was talking about him, like specifically where it's like he just was like a zombie.
Yeah, he let her do whatever, and she cussed him out, beat him up. Oh, it was crazy. But she had 3 men that lived in that house, and the last man, he stayed until they tore the house down. So, and him and both of them would go past each other. Oh, hey, how you doing? Speak and everything. We weren't allowed to eat. She would make him steak, potatoes, garlic bread, and a salad, and we would not go in there and eat it. That was for him.
So what did y'all eat?
Shit. Whatever, but to make you a sandwich. And I ain't talking about with meat and cheese.
Well, what kind of sandwich?
Oh, maybe a syrup sandwich.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. So when I tell people, there ain't nothing you could do to me that will hurt me.
I don't want to give too much away in the book, y'all. But I had to bring Tammy on here to give some context behind the book. This is something, I feel like this book is a gem. In a world full of fakery, inauthenticity, disingenuous people. I think this book is a very it's an eye opener. And I just want to say shout out to you again.
Thanks.
We definitely got to have a part 2.
Oh yes, most definitely.
Once I finish the book.
Yeah.
Because look, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm learning to be more authentic on Coded Black. I've been authentic, but I'm learning to show all of me in my life and on and off the camera. Like I told Tammy, I was scared to read the book at first because I've known you for a long time.
For a long time.
And I'm like, it's always been good vibes, me and Tammy. Like, so I'm like, yo, for me to read this, because you told me about some of the stuff you've been through. And I wanted to have the whole book completed, but I was scared to read it. I just like, man, I can't. I don't know my stomach. I don't know if I can stomach all of the stuff me knowing you.
Right.
You know, because I have a protective spirit. So it's like, you know, I knew I was gonna get pissed off. You know what I'm saying?
Make you want to be like, where are these motherfuckers?
Right. Like
my other brother on my dad's side, he read it and he was like, where these motherfuckers at? I said, oh shit, one did, the other one he on his way. He said, shit.
So he never knew. Yeah, he never knew.
He never knew until I started telling him about, you know.
Oh, y'all around the same age?
No, my brother on my dad's side, he's about, what is he, about 47, 48 or something like that. So he ain't that much younger than me, but he lives in St. Louis.
I know he was enraged.
Yeah, he was like, man, this is so, and I was like, listen, only the strong survive.
Yeah.
And that ain't no lie. For real.
Yeah.
When they say only the strong survive, they ain't lying. They ain't lying at all.
Where can people get this book?
It's on Amazon. All you gotta do is type in The House That Hurt Me and it will pop right up.
Let me put it in this, The House That Hurt. Beautiful cover, by the way. You got that all. I got it all in front of your face, but y'all get the gist of it. The House That Hurt Me by Tammy Jones. I'll have this linked right below the video, so y'all be able to have access to it. Just click the link. You know what I mean? And we got to learn to embrace. We have to learn to embrace people that have went through more things than us, regardless of what it is. You know, we've all went through things, but I know Black people, us specifically, are a communal people.
Yeah.
You know, you and I talk about that, and the fact that people don't have protective spaces, safe spaces, especially children. I have a natural affinity for children, and the reason I say natural because everybody doesn't. Yeah. Everybody don't like children, and that's okay, but there's no reason to do heinous things to children.
At all.
You know what I mean?
Sick.
That shows how sick you are. It shows how demented you are. It shows
evil.
Manipulation, evil. Like, it's to the point where it's like, and even if somebody's that's watching the show, I'm at the point now, if you think that even if you're starting to have those thoughts, you haven't acted on them yet, like, go get some help, man. Because to do that to another human being, a precious human being, an untainted human being, to taint them, I have no words for it. I know we're on camera, so, I already know, like, how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? So you can get this book, The House That Hurt Me, on Amazon. All right? By Tammy Jones. And do you have anything else coming up?
I do.
What's that?
It's almost like it's going to be 2 more books, but the second book is going to touch on living between 2 worlds. And we'll get into that, a little later, because people are like, what you mean living into 2 different worlds? It's the spiritual world.
And before you continue to the next topic, does that book, Living in Between 2 Worlds, does that have a correlation to when you unalived yourself with the sleeping pills?
No.
Okay, it's 2 different things.
Yeah, it's 2 different things, because when I wasn't in no world, it was peaceful. And I know people always say that, oh, I died and I seen God and I seen, for me, it was pure black. And it wasn't black, dark, like oh, demonic dark, or, you know, people get that confused when they say it's dark. No, not that dark. It was a peaceful dark. It was just so peaceful. I mean, I can't explain how it felt, how comfortable and peaceful I was. But yes.
That's amazing to hear, actually, you know, because I think sometimes people do go through the histrionics of things. They go through the, you know, it was unicorns. It was, you know, and I'm not saying it, they didn't.
That's what I said. I can't speak for somebody who said they seen, but I didn't see nothing but dark. It was just peaceful, like, and I'm thinking like, yes, this is it. And I know that sounds crazy, saying, yes, that's it, that I ain't got to be hurt no more, but God had another plan for me.
Right. I mean, it don't sound crazy to me because, you know, we tapped in, but I think that it's a breath of fresh air to hear somebody say that, yo, it just was peaceful. It didn't feel like, you know, it's just black. You know, it's a breath of fresh air from the standpoint of authenticity. Like I said, not to say other people aren't being authentic.
Right.
Man, that's dope. That's dope, Tammy. Do you have a message that you want to say on camera to anyone, especially children that are going through something similar?
I would just say, don't be afraid to tell somebody. I mean, I know you'll get people, if you tell I'm going to kill your family or I'm going to do this, find somebody and talk to them. Somebody that you trust, that you can say, hey, this is what's going on with me. And hopefully that person that you tell can get to the authorities and they can stop whatever's happening to you. You don't have to gotta keep going through something over and over and over to where, like me, wanted to take your own life. So I would tell them to, yes, get some help. Talk to somebody. You know, don't let these people put fear in you that, oh, we're gonna kill your family, or you know, and they got a thing, they'll bribe you too. Oh, I'll get you the new latest cell phone. I'll get you them Jordans. And that's manipulation. And that's how they get the kids. And they keep doing it over and over. But please, tell somebody. Go to school, a neighbor. Because now we're living in a world to where it's not, oh, don't nobody believe you. No, they believe you. It's 2025. It ain't back in the 60s, 70s when nobody. Now, yes, tell somebody. Don't let them put fear in your heart or fear that you can't go and tell somebody what somebody is violating you and doing things to you that they shouldn't be doing. Whether you a boy, girl, tell. I will encourage you to tell somebody. Don't try to hurt yourself, but tell somebody before you get to that point. Because I trust me, I know how it feel. I know how it feel.
Truth. Last thing. Where can the people find you?
Find me? I am on TikTok. And what is it? Oh, I forgot my TikTok name.
It's cool. We'll have it pop up right here, y'all.
I think it's Pretty Girl, I Love Myself. I love me. That's what it is. Pretty Girl, I Love Me. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on Facebook too, just my regular, Tammy Jones.
Jones, okay. So we got Facebook and TikTok, right?
Yeah, and I got Instagram, but I don't be on Instagram like that. My biggest platform is TikTok.
Nice. Well, Tammy, we appreciate you coming on the show. It's been a lovely conversation. I definitely can sense a part 2 coming, especially like I said, after I read it, and we just talk about some other things as well, You're now a member of the Coded Black Club.
Well, all right. How they do it?
Well, they said clock it, right?
Clock it. It was a pleasure being here.
That's what's up. Appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate you having me anytime.
Y'all already know the goal is to educate, inspire, enlighten. Winners make adjustments. I am Commotion. This is Tammy. We clocking out. Peace. Where you hear that? Where did you hear that? Where did you hear that? Where you hear that? Where did you hear that? Where did you hear that? Where you hear that? Where did you hear that? Where did you hear that?